YouTube, welcome back guys. Hey, hope everyone's having a great day, avoiding some kind of thing out there that's keeping everyone from going to work, I guess. Back on the MR2, we're doing an MR2 video today. This will probably be the last video before I get a first start and able to take this car on a road drive. This is the last video I need to do. We've been working on this car for quite some time. If you're an MR2 fan, please hit the like button. I really appreciate that. If you're a CELICA GTS fan, hit the like button. If you like Lotuses, hit the like button. If you like Evos, hit the like button. If you like me, hit the like button. It seems like not many people actually care for this build, but this is a crazy awesome build and I love it. And I think you guys just need to see it outside of the garage. Once I take it outside of the garage and drive it around, you'll really appreciate how cool this build is. Especially since there's a turbo kit and a motor swap on it, and transmission swap. So what am I doing today? One of the issues that I had was a knock sensor wire right here. This was torn, so I ordered a new one. They call this a pigtail, so it has a pigtail, so it's the whole sensor. This is not the knock sensor, this is the oil pressure sensor. Mine was torn, it got pulled on, so it's torn, so I ordered a new one with a pigtail. I also ordered a new replacement right here. This is going to be the oil pressure sensor. This is actual oil pressure sensor. So I got a cord that goes into it, which I'll wire up and I'll show you how to do that. And then I got a new oil pressure sensor. After that, I need to first off I'm gonna drain the oil and put new oil in it. But then I also need to drain the coolant and get all the coolant out of there because I got new pink coolant, but I also need to cut a wire. So we're gonna do quite a bit of draining today. I got some buckets. Let's start out with the oil. Let's drain the oil right now, first and foremost. So we're gonna do lefty-loosey on the oil cap. I always like to do that first. I recommend removing an oil cap first. Why? Because what if you drain all the oil and you can't put oil back in it because this is stuck? You don't ever wanna be like that. So drain that, do lefty-loosey. That's open. Now we're gonna head on down. Okay, so here's underneath my 2zz-ge MR2 turboed. This right here is a drain line. It's unique. I actually ran this old oil pan on my original first Toyota 2zz-ge turboed CELICA GTS. This is my original oil pan. So I had a guy from the shop weld this up, this pipe right here, with the hose clamp right here. But what we're gonna do is take a 14mm, is what's on my oil pan, and we're gonna do lefty-loosey. So pull on that, pull it up, and do lefty-loosey. So I got it, I broke it loose. A little bit of arm muscle. This is gonna pop out and oil's gonna come out here. And like a boss, do that. Perfect. So oil's coming out, straining. It's pretty dark. I don't know when's the last time I changed this. It's all just coming out. It's fine. Why am I doing this? The reason I'm draining this oil is because we're gonna, one, put new oil in it. That's always good. But two, because I need to pull off that oil pressure sensor, and if I do a lefty-loosey on that thing, I have a feeling it's gonna squirt everywhere. If there's oil, so I don't want the oil to go everywhere. So we'll drain it, change the oil, put a new oil filter on, and then remove that old oil pressure sensor. And I'll show you guys how I hook up the new one if yours is ever torn or broken. I'll try to find a link for the ones that I bought. Those two parts, the piggy tail thing was like $12, and then the sensor I think was like $25. I'm not sure how much they were. I think 25 or 30. I bought a new one. I want it to work right. I wanted to make sure that the 2zz-ge has good oil pressure. So when I first saw that, I was like, oh no, oil, what the heck? And I went down there and I saw that little cord had been torn, the wire in there, and that's why it was not working. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend one of these. These are a socket for the oil filter. I use an an OEM one, an OEM filter, which is up there. I'll bring you guys around. I don't want to get any oil on this new camera. There's that original oil filter right here. Right there, that's what I use on mine. I used to use K&N, but I've just started using this one. Why? It's probably the reason why is I bought a bunch in bulk, and then I found them for a good deal. But also, it's a black oil filter. So I think I'm making a mess. All right, here we go. No oil in the camera. And we should be off. And we're off. And there's the oil out. So there we go, all the oil is still draining. I'm gonna set you guys down, but this is a old filter, and then up there is where we're gonna work next, and I'll bring the light over there for you. All right, here's the oil I've been using forever, and then here's that oil filter, the OEM one. This is the one that I use. We're not gonna put that on yet, but we are gonna put a little bit of the oil through and drain it through so that the oil that's still dripping out right now, I wanna have that all raw, because there's dirt oil in there. That oil that's dripping out, there's a little bit of dirt in there, so I'm gonna wash it out. And this only takes about 4.5, 4.3 quarts. So we'll go ahead and just wash a little bit out and then use the rest of the oil in the 2zz after we finish what we were trying to accomplish originally. So I did put a little bit more and I ran it through to clean out that dirty oil. We'll go ahead and get down below. So all the oil has been drained through. You can kind of, I don't know, you guys can't see that, but there is some clean new oil on there. What we're gonna do now is put that drain plug back on, remove the old oil out of there. So let's go ahead and put the drain plug back on. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is take this new oil filter, since I just put that, the oil plug back on. Here's this new OEM one. Ooh, it comes with the new seal. That's nice. So pull that new seal out. Part number, throw that away. We're gonna take a little bit of oil. So we're gonna take the oil right here and just put a little bit of it in it, so that we don't get a dry start. Just a little bit. That's probably good. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. The lid on that oil jug so we don't make a big mess. Okay, got the oil. Now we're gonna go ahead and tighten this on, righty-tighty. I do like to put a little bit of oil around the filter, nice new filter. And now I'm gonna go tighten this. All right, here's the parts for my next step. What I'm gonna do, if I can't get the crescent wrench open on there, I'll use this 22. I think will fit over the, which I can actually put in here. Yeah, there you go. See how the 22 fits right in there perfectly? So what I'll do is I'll use the 22 millimeter to remove the old oil pressure sensor. Here's that new clip with the piggy. I'm gonna wire that in. I'm gonna use this right here. This is a little connector clip. Of course, it's red and black. Hey. What I'll do is I'll connect this side to like that, to this side right here, and I'll cut this off and give it some room. Then connect it, pinch those together, and then go up there and pinch that wire all together. And then I'll use the electrical tape to do that. Now I was gonna use the pliers if I couldn't get this one off with the 22, but I'll get the one off, the old one off. So let's go grab the old oil one and I'll show you where that's located underneath the 2zz MR2. Okay, you are upside down underneath the oil pan. So here's the oil pan. This is that new oil filter that we installed, righty-tighty on there. This is the feed line. It's a T-tree that breaks off of there. And then this is the one that we need to remove. So this is the oil pressure sensor. Now, why was I getting the flashing oil light? Because this got disconnected. This yellow right here, it got disconnected from this plug. So we'll use that new piggy to cut this off a little bit, extend the wire a little bit, and then have it plug in nice and firmly into the new one. So let's take the 22 millimeter, wrench this off. We're gonna leave this oil feed line into the turbo, or oil, I think this is the oil drain line. The oil drain line. No, this is I think this is a feed line. Feed line or drain line, I'm not sure which one. No, this is a feed line. This is a feed line. So we're gonna leave this feed line, because it has pressure on it, here, and we're not gonna mess with it, but we will remove this. So let's do a lefty-loosey on this one and pull it out. Okay, so firewall, so this is like, if you had a supercharger, the supercharger would be up here. That's the intake manifold. This is the coolant line. That's the alternator starter. Okay, I did remove the old one right here. So this is the old one. I'm gonna go grab that new one. And it was sitting on this, they call it like, I think a T tree or something like that, but no oil came out of it. So it's probably because I haven't started this car for a long time. So let's go ahead and grab the new one, and I'll put it on. Okay, so here's the new one. And then we'll just go in there and it should fit in perfectly. Great. And we're on. Okay. Wow, that one screws way far down, huh? So let's go and do that one again real quick here. I'll tighten it up and then we'll do the part with the wiring. All right, so as you guys see, here's the yellow one, and then here's my little contraption. You just push on these things and it holds all the wires together. And then there's a new pigtail. Now we're not gonna leave this ugly like this. One, I like red, but I don't like yellow. So we're gonna do electrical tape, which is right here. So we're gonna use my little bit of my electrical tape left, wrap that all up, make it look clean, buckle that on, and then we're done. I might wipe all this down under here, but then we're done, we're done. We can go back over the turbo side and drain the coolant and put oil in it, and then put coolant in it, and then fire it up next. All right, so that finished. That looks pretty aesthetic, even, well, not aesthetic, I mean, it's better. As long as that ugly wire's not hanging out right there. There's a new one, and it just clips on right here, right there, and then that's tight on there. It isn't going anywhere. I believe that should solve the oil pressure light, since I have a new oil pressure, and then I have a new oil pressure plug. That should have good connection. So what we're gonna do now, since I've completed that, is I'm gonna actually move over to the coolant side, and then I'll fill the oil and coolant at the same time, and then we'll get that first start on the next. If any of my subscribers have a new reservoir tank or used reservoir tank that's in better condition than this thing, send it to me. This thing is bad. So I'm gonna do lefty-loosey on this. Yeah, this is, you can see in there, there's no coolant in there, but the whole thing is just dirty and grimy. What are we gonna do? We are going to do unhook the one that I'm having the issue with, which is that drain one right there. That's the one that I'm having the issue on, this right here. So we're just gonna pop that off, cut it, and then slip it back on, and hopefully there won't be any more coolant leak. All right, what have I done? Here is my old hose. You can see that there's this plastic fitting that went into a 5/8, and then this went into like a, I don't know what this is, something small, this size, but you can see right here it's stretched. That's where it was leaking the coolant, down there that stretched. The rest of this braided line was fine, but down there was leaking, and that goes right into the turbo where that banjo is, right down there. Let me see if I can get a light on it. Yeah, right there where that banjo was, which is moving now. Here is the factory hose line. Here's the factory hose line right here. This is the factory, so that's what I had that. Now what did I buy? I bought a large 5/8. I'm gonna see if I can run a 5/8 all the way to the turbo area. Now I might not be able to do that because it might warm up and melt it. That's probably why they had the stainless steel braided ones, but let's just try it. All right, I'm gonna show you what I've done. So down here, you guys can see there is the new, right there. Let's put that right there. There you go. There is that new banjo. There's the clip on it right here, this part. I used that rubber hose, and then that rubber hose, the hose for the coolant runs up to here now. So this is all new. Now I was using the braided one, and the braided is kind of cooler. It's more attractive actually. Will I continue to use this one? Maybe. I don't know if it'll hold up with the temperature. So comment down below. Do you think that will hold up with the temperature of the turbo? If not, I just need to order another one of those braided lines, and I'll put that on that banjo. We'll see. Maybe it'll hold. It's not touching the turbo, but I mean, that is one of the hottest parts of the car. And I don't know how long like a rubber hose will last like that. I don't know what the temperature to get up to. So we'll see if it holds or not. But we're done for now. All I need to do is fill it back up with the oil, which we're gonna do next. And then fill it up with the oil, and then fill it up with coolant. And next video we'll do a first. Okay, so the oil is filled up in the 2zz. There's oil in there. We're all squared away. It's all sealed off. We don't have to worry about that. Coolant has been drained. Hey Mitch, where do you drain the coolant? This is where you drain the coolant. See where that black bucket is? I'm gonna slide down there for you guys to help you out. There are two 12 millimeter bolts right there. Here, let's look real quick here. Right there. 12 millimeter bolts, lefty-loosey on those two, break them loose, the thing will just, that whole bucket's nearly full. Drained all the old green coolant. Do not use green coolant. I don't know why. I don't know why there's green coolant in this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I think I put green coolant in it. I don't think I could buy the pink stuff. It was like sold out. Use the pink Asian coolant, which I'll show you. So now that it's all drained, you guys can see it's dripping. I'm confident that the majority of it's out of it. I'm gonna put the two 12 millimeter bolts back on. I'm going to start filling up the coolant reservoir in the back with the Asian formula of pink. So there's that green coolant. I got rid of all that. We've dumped it out there, filled that whole thing up. Here's the two Asian vehicle. This just says Asian vehicle Valvoline. This is what we're gonna use next, 50/50. I have two of those. It should cover. Man, I am dirty. This is a dirty job. What have we done? We've put new coolant in, or we're going to put new coolant in. We've changed the oil. We've changed the oil filter. We fixed a little oil pressure sensor. We installed a new oil pressure sensor. Lots of little work on there. We fixed the coolant line with a new coolant line. That's a lot of work. Now this thing is, we're just gonna put some coolant in it right now, and I'll finish this video, guys kind of hearing a first start since you guys made it all the way. So I'll crank it over to see if it'll crank over. So first things first, let's go ahead and put the coolant. Okay, so some of the coolant is not wanting, it's kind of full, so what we need is the water pump in the 2zz to start circulating. So I am going to start the car real quick. So, as you guys can tell, yay, it's running. We'll do a first startup and drive. So what do I need to do now as I wrap up this video is I will need to put more coolant in it and bleed it through. I actually lowered the front of the car, so let me show you that real quick before I wrap up this little lap. So the MR2 is slammed zilla. So slammed. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's on the ground. This thing is on the ground. I don't know if that does that do that justice? Yeah. There you go. Slammed. Slam. Woo, that's crazy. Oh, those new side markers, I forgot about those things. Those are sick. MITCHDORE.COMHOW. MITCHDORE.COMHOW. That looks awesome. This car is great. Cannot wait. Black wheels, black. Okay, so all the videos all wrapped up. What does that mean? That I should lower the front, so I'm gonna burp the rest of the coolant out. I'll fill it up and top it off with those 2 jugs of coolant. Next video, I'll probably pull the car out and maybe wash it. Go test the e-brake. Go test the brakes. I forgot to do new brake pads. And then make sure there's no coolant leaking or oil leaking or anything like that. And then drive it for a while, see if it is. I got a feeling that that hose that I put in there, it's probably gonna overheat and not last very long. So I'll probably order another braided line. That's probably what I'll do next. I got new wheels for this car. I'm gonna put on, drive around with it, take pictures of that. I'm gonna have a custom exhaust built for the MR2 and have it like a center dual exhaust. I think I'm gonna show it over there. I'm gonna show you guys that. But lots of stuff to come for the MR2. Just can't wait to take it out and get tons of photos. Follow my Instagram, it's right here. I can't wait to post a bunch of photos of this car. It looks so good. Details on the CELICA coming soon, and make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next video.